and friends, to the 2014 Red Dress Gala. My name is Maya Wilson, and I'm Vice President of Marketing for this chapter of Alpha Phi. On behalf of the Red Dress Gala team, I'm so grateful that each and every one of you are here to share in this event tonight. I would like to share my unique journey that has taken place with Alpha Phi over the past 6 years. My father had always been sick in my memory. Though an incredibly kind-hearted person, his physical heart was not in the best shape. My early childhood consisted of constant visits to the hospital to get his heart zapped, otherwise known as cardioverted, to stabilize an irregular heartbeat. We knew that the local hospital could not solve this medical mystery. So in early 2006, my dad was referred to a specialized team at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston for an initial and subsequent evaluation for a heart transplantation. On one occasion, my sister, mom, and I made our way to Dad's hospital room. Seeing him in the hospital was a routine occurrence for my family. As my sister and I were making ourselves comfortable, Dad asked us, what should he choose for dinner? Teasingly, my sister looked at him and said, would you just pick something? What's the big deal? There's starving kids in Africa. At that moment, Dr. Kenneth Bachman walked in with his posse of residents, interns, medical students, and chuckled. Dad looked at him and said, see the freshness I have to deal with? Dr. Bachman answered, it's good for you. For someone to appreciate my family's cynical humor was always a plus. World-renowned expert in heart failure and Harvard Medical School professor, Dr. B, as we would all come to call him, had a bit of an intimidating reputation among the hospital staff, but he spoke to length at us and recognized us as people. A few days after Dad returned home, we were told that he needed to be listed for a heart transplantation. As months moves on, Dad started to worsen, oftentimes staying home from work as a teacher and losing energy. In September of my sophomore year of high school, my dad had another extended visit in the hospital, resulting in a decision that during the next several months, Dad would be hospitalized for more than a week each month to receive intensive care treatments. As Dad's stays in the hospital became routine, we thought of unique ways to entertain him and the medical staff. Dr. B particularly loved seeing our pictures and genuinely enjoyed hearing about the family. Mom and I worked hard to choose Dr. B's riddle of the day, which we left for him in the hospital room. Often when visiting Dad, our first question was not, how are you doing? But, did Dr. B solve any of the riddles today? One day, Dr. B did particularly well and was proud to announce it. I think he was in a private competition with the hospital staff. Many highlights of our visit were seeing Dr. B and having him teach us about what was occurring. Then, in early March 2009, my dad took a turn for the worse. By the end of the week, he was admitted and hospitalized, awaiting a transplant. On March 28th, our mundane routine changed significantly. Dr. B woke my dad up asking, what are you up to today? This was quite funny considering my dad was chained to his bed by catheters and IVs. It was finally my dad's turn for a heart transplant. Though it was scary and unbelievable, the surgery went well. Thanks to Dr. B, the surgeons, and the incredible hospital team, he was no longer on the brink of death. We had a chance to be together as a family once again. Dad was saved by the hard work and dedication of his doctors and the research that supported them. Most of the doctors on my father's team were fellow of the American Heart Association. Although I did not fully understand this honor, the level of influence that this team had on a national basis was put into perspective in the fall of my junior year. My dad was progressing well, having taken a sabbatical year, resulting in allowing my family to have a normal existence. Not taking trips into the hospital was extremely different. School projects started to roll around, National History Day was on the horizon, and I knew immediately my topic, history of a heart transplant. I certainly had a great interest and great resource at Brigham and Women's. Lucky for me, Dr. B generously agreed to an interview. I was thrilled knowing that many cardiologists, interns, and medical students would be envious of my opportunity. On Tuesday, November 4th, I went to the Shapiro office in the hospital. I asked many questions about heart transplants, and then we talked about his life and how he came to focus on cardiology. We talked about the importance of organ donation and how it gave a chance for very sick people to be healthy again. Although I was a high school student, Dr. B made sure I had a good understanding of the points I needed for my project. There are unique people who have universal compassion in this world, and I knew they were rare and never thought I would meet one in my lifetime. But I had. I walked out of that meeting with Dr. B changed. Unfortunately, 2 weeks later, a call came that shook my family's world, the world of many patients, and really, the whole world of cardiology in the United States. Dr. B was at an American Scientific Convention in Florida to meet and discuss with other physicians recent research discoveries. On one of his early morning runs, he was struck by a car while crossing the street and was pronounced dead on the scene. This death made shockwaves within the cardiology community. A man who has saved so many lives was gone. The man that I can thank for my father being here today was gone. However, he has left an indelible mark through the many students he trained, who continue to make incredible advances in medicine and in the countless patients and their families. This same year, the Alpha Phi Heart to Heart grant was given to the American Heart Association of Greater Boston. I was still a junior in high school, and I had no idea what Alpha Phi was. I just knew that the American Heart Association of Boston received an amazing gift to support research of heart disease. Little did I know, 2 years later, I'd become a sister of this very organization. For me, being a member of Alpha Phi goes past sisterhood, the day parties, the formals. For me, it is knowing that there are thousands of sisters around the world striving to help people like my dad live longer. Without the passion and drive of Alpha Phi fundraising, specializes in advanced medical research could not be done. So thank you, sisters, and to your families. Without your support, my mom would not have a husband. My sister, brother, and I would not have our dad. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and my dad's brand new heart for all your great work. And thank you for also allowing my father, Scott Wilson, the opportunity to be here and part of this great event.